So I'm gonna try something new today. I am going to try to not waffle on. Even though I just quickly want to say how proud I am that like it's nearly at the end of the year and I'm nearly at the end of my book. Because some years, right, like literally I'd get through like just like a quarter of this book. And then this year I'm literally nearly the end and I'm so proud of myself, which means I've just been busy planning. No, I have executed as well, not just planning. And maybe that's why it's so full, because I have been executing, so therefore I have been making new plans, and then the past ones is like I haven't been executing, so there's no new plans.
Oh no!
Okay, so let's dive right into the subject. Today I'm talking about connecting sexuality to love. Because as you might be aware, watching my other videos, I have been talking a lot about sex. And sex has really shown up in my life lately, where it's just like, wonderful. Isn't sex wonderful? I went to an open mic event yesterday and I performed and I did so well and I'm so proud of myself and I'm so happy about that. I've been to a few of these open mic events or these poetry events, and I've never really been touched the way that I was touched yesterday. And they were so talented and it just gave me loads of ideas, and that just sounded like an idea, like just to start a piece by saying, isn't sex great? And there was like some comedic ones that I loved, the comedic ones. And I just want to do that. I want to do like poetry, comedic poetry. So then I might as well put it into poetry and then go make people laugh. So connecting sexuality to love. Like I said, I've been obsessing over sex, and it's like, oh my gosh, sex is great. Orgasms are great. Oh my gosh, like we have a whole world to unravel here. And as a woman, I have like a whole world to experiment with. And I'm so excited. It's like, settle down, what? I'm joking, because obviously you could experiment with somebody you settle down with. But I'm just in this space of like just being very interested in sex and wanting to try things. And so anyway, so then I'm having these long conversations with my two friends that I have and sending voice notes about sexual things and sex this and sex that. And so I was hoovering my stairs and I was thinking about it, about how excited I am to experiment with things. And then I realized, I was like, it was like I imagined myself falling in love with somebody. And when I say falling in love, I mean like when you're just besotted with them, that they are just everything and you just can't stop thinking about them, and they are just everything, and that you just love them. And for the fact that they love you back is just mind-boggling. It's like, how do you love me? Anyway, so then if I'm in love like that and I am being sexual in the ways that I want to be sexual with that same person, my heart did this thing when I was hoovering and I put the two together, and my heart kind of like skipped a beat and I got a little bit like scared. I was like, oh my God. And then I realized and remembered that that actually is possible for you to actually have sexual experimentations and fun with somebody that you're in love with. Wow. Anyways, I wanted to come and do a video about this because I just thought like, let me just put out in the world how amazing life is. Another video about how amazing life is, because like, isn't that amazing? Wait, I'm not really painting the picture properly here of like, imagine like you're with somebody and you're really in love with them. Like imagine somebody from your past that you were really in love with, and maybe they didn't even like you back, let's say, and you just really were in love with them. And then imagine having sex with that person and it's like really, really good sex. I don't know why my brain right now is separating the two again, because I can't put the two together anymore. Why is that? It's like sex and fun is here and falling in love is here. What? My brain's doing it again. But the other day my brain put it together and I was like, oh my God, is that possible? Like, I want that. Yeah. I think here, what it is when you connect sexuality with love, yeah, what it is that the pulse and the vibration from down there shoots up and it hits your heart. And then your heart is penetrating along with the orgasm. Oh my God, that must be so overwhelming. To be so in love up here and then be sexually aroused here and then having that complete, and then it shoots up into your heart because of how much you like this person. I just feel like that's a bit dangerous. At the same time, I want to do it like now. And it almost made me blush a little bit when I was thinking about like, oh my gosh, I could like somebody like that and then be sexual with them. And then my heart skipped a beat and the sex was wonderful in my imagination. Huh? So I wanted to quickly talk about sexuality without sex. When I was separating the two and then I put the two together, I was like, wait, hold on, what do we do if we're not doing that? And why would we do anything else but that? So then technically sexuality actually has a whole body of itself, right? It's a whole thing by itself, and it's entertaining by itself, it's fulfilling by itself. So without connecting romantic feelings towards sexuality, actually sexuality is fun. So it makes sense that people use sexuality without love. I put sexuality without sex. Like, what? I meant to put sexuality without love and I'll put sexuality without sex. How does that work? Sexuality without sex. I met somebody recently and he would see this as a sign from the universe telling me something. There's no mistakes, Nayna. You think you've done a mistake, but you ain't. So I've put sexuality without sex. What is that? Is that what they call tantric sex or invisible sex? Because I want to do that too. So sexuality is a whole beast of its own without love into it. You can experience it and it is good enough without the love in it. And I feel like what that is just like a physical solution. Like for example, showering is a physical solution, sleeping is a physical solution, and I feel like sex might be a physical solution also. And I can guarantee you, like, pick out somebody who's like extremely grumpy on the street, extremely rude, extremely unpleasant, and just pick them out. And I bet you if you ask that person, when was the last time you had sex? It would definitely not be yesterday or today. People who have sex cannot be grumpy like that. And if they are, they snap out of it real quick. And I do feel like sex and sexually activating your orgasms, I don't know what they call that for a man. Is it orgasm? I'm sure it is an orgasm for a man as well, right? And if you're activating these things, I think it's a physical solution that we actually physically need, and we starve ourselves of it when we go years without penetration. And technically we all masturbate, but some of us don't. And even masturbation is not the same as like exchanging with another human. So sexuality without love, I think, is just a physical solution, and it's a physical need. And by itself is enough. Like showering by itself is enough. You could make the shower more fun and more interesting and more adventurous, but if you just had a shower, it is enough. So I feel like that's what sexuality is without love. It's like it's a thing, and it exists and it works and it serves a purpose, but you can decorate it. And when you decorate it with love, like, Lord, is it, I'm thinking of the equivalent of a shower. Like, how can I make my shower like even better? And I guess we do, like when we put candles in there and you put incense in there and you put like music in there, like I guess you can dress up the shower and it's like, oh, that was just amazing shower. And I wonder when somebody says like, oh, that was amazing sex, and they're not in love with that person, but they can say that's amazing sex. I wonder if it is because though there was no love, you are acting as if it was love. So you're acting because you're passionate and you're pulling and you're like, I love you. You don't say I love you, but you're acting like I love you because of how I'm grabbing you and how I am touching you and how much I want to be inside of you. And actually that kind of translates into love because it is technically love. But what I'm talking about in this particular subject, I'm not talking about the act of love, I'm talking about the mental love, when you're actually mentally in love with somebody and then you have sex with that person. Like, it could, I swear it must be one of the biggest things that exists in feelings. And I guess what love is in sexuality is basically when it means a lot to you. Like, we take life way too seriously, but at the same time it's like quite fun. But if you think about, why do we love so much? Like, they're just us. Like, we're just one. You're just another human. Like, why do I worship you? But at the same time, it is fun because I do like those feelings of completely, utterly being in love with somebody. I love those feelings. So much so that when it goes wrong, you just wish you can delete them from your existence. Like, they just delete. I never met you. And I feel like when you get to that point, I feel like somebody's kind of broken your heart a lot. And I've got to that point a few times. My heartbreak, all of them will blame it on me. Actually, now probably not. Now they'll be like, oh, I was just immature and I wasn't listening to you properly. But me, I break up with people over the smallest things and then I cry for years. And I am the one that broke up with them and I'm crying for years because of that. Oops. And I broke up with them because why? Because they made me feel unloved one time. Or you did this and it really broke my heart. Or you said you wanted to do this and you didn't do it, and that means that you don't love me, so therefore we're no longer together. I'm very, very sensitive. So I feel like love just it means a lot to you. And I feel like that's what love is. It means a lot to me. And then in love, I feel like it's so beyond meaning a lot to you because it's more like, it's like worship. It's like worship. I wonder if people at church worship God the way that I worship somebody that I'm in love with. And when I say worship, I just mean like if they walk into the room, like I'll sit up straight. Or if they come over to me, I'll be like thinking about how I look like and thinking about what I'm doing, and then I'll look at them and they're just like amazing, and their face is amazing, their body's amazing. I just want to touch them. Whoa. And I'd go home and I think about things and I'm like, I wonder what he likes to eat and I wonder what he likes to do. Like, I could be doing other things with my time, yet I'm thinking about, oh, I wonder, like, if I took him to this Brazilian restaurant, I wonder if he would like this and that. Like, I feel like when you start thinking about somebody in this way, you're kind of falling in love with them. Anyways, I feel like that's what love is. It means a lot to you, and then falling in love is when you worship what means a lot to you. And you can't help but do it, because sometimes we worship people on purpose and that's cringe. But if you can't help but worship them, I feel like that's what in love is. Anyway, so I think that the ultimate high in relationships is when you have sex with somebody that you're absolutely in love with and you orgasm with them. I can't wait for people to figure out how to orgasm, and I feel like I'm gonna just do another video about it so I could reiterate how to orgasm to girls. Actually, that's gonna be my next video. I'm gonna do another video about it because I just feel like we need to really learn this body of ours. And then if you're penetrating, orgasming in sex with somebody that you're utterly besotted with, me, is that heaven? Yeah! Is that ultimate high? Okay. Anyways, being positive Nancy. What? Is that a contradiction? Should I make up a new name? Being positive. I was gonna use my cousin's name there, but I didn't want to. Being positive Poppy. Being positive Poppy that I am, I just want to come here to alliterate. I don't like that word. Just to say again how many gifts life has, and it's just amazing, and we're just gonna keep finding them, and I'm gonna keep reminding everybody of all these gifts of like that we find them, like the fact that we can feel these things towards another human, where we just want them and we worship them, and if they touch us, we're like, ah! I don't know if that's how I would react, but you know what I mean. And you're just like, ah! And then you have sex with that person, and then I know, because the after of that, there's a lot of different things that people are scared of. What if it doesn't work out? What if the moment was fake? What if the moment wasn't real? What if he doesn't like me afterwards? What if she leaves me for another man? What if my penis is small and she doesn't like it? Or what if she was faking her orgasm? Like, there's just so much problems. But let's put all of the problems in a bag right now, because obviously we need to look for all of those problems like one by one, like heal them all. So let's pretend that that bag is healed. And then also, like, we can just like learn to enjoy things, because I feel like we just, for example, I'm with Darren. Darren dumps me and he says he doesn't want to be with me anymore. For some reason, I didn't really love Darren that much, but for some reason when Darren left me, I went crazy and I'm like, I want to be with Darren forever. How dare you leave me, right? And then say Leonardo DiCaprio. The thought of Leonardo DiCaprio, I'm not interested. I don't want Leonardo DiCaprio because Darren has broken my heart and I want Darren. I don't want Leonardo DiCaprio. But we should be able to go, okay, Darren, bye. Where's Leonardo DiCaprio? Because I want to F him. Like, why don't we do that? And then like, if I get to F Leonardo DiCaprio and I'm like, oh my gosh, that was the best sex ever, and then like I never hear from him again after. No. Why can't I just be like, I F'd Leonardo DiCaprio? That was so good. Like, why can't I just appreciate and love what just happened instead of being like, oh, he doesn't want me, oh, he doesn't like me. It's like, that. I just had Leonardo DiCaprio. Thank you. That was amazing. Next, Brad Pitt. There's so many of them. So why is it that when somebody breaks our heart, and I think it's because we're trying to force them to prove to us in one way or another that we are good enough. Like, no, Darren, you're gonna take that back. You're gonna tell me that I'm good enough. You're gonna prove to me that I'm good enough by wanting me again. And so then we need to train ourselves to deal with like rejection or things breaking down like a bit better, so we don't take it so personal. And so it's interesting why people use sex in the sex way, just the physical way, and actually they stay away from adding love into it. And technically, because like I said, like, it made me blush when I thought of it. It made me panic, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And actually mixing love, and like I said, it's dangerous. Mixing love with sex maybe is dangerous to some people, because the pain of that breaking down is so much that people reject love. They just reject it. They're like, no thanks. Like, do you remember how you felt when that person broke up with you? No thanks. So then we reject it. So then we keep the physicality and we don't involve the love. And I think it's because we make people special, and we really, really shouldn't make people special. Like, Beyonce is not special. Michael Jackson is not special. Buddha is not special. Jesus is not special. Everybody, either we're all special or none of us are special. So if we're all special, which I prefer that one, that we're all special, then that means then that yes, you're special, yes, I'm in love with you and I worship you, but if this was to stop, I'm gonna find another special one and I'm gonna have another one of those. Why does that insult some people? I think it's because of separation, because you just don't see yourself as like the next person. Like, if you're leaving me for Jessica, technically I shouldn't be jealous of Jessica because I am Jessica in another form. So technically you're leaving me for me. So that's not a bad thing. Okay, go. And then I'm leaving you for another you, because we're all just one thing. So why are we so upset? Anyways, me and my friends, we've introduced this like thing called baby. Like, I'm just a baby, you're just a baby, and we're all just babies, and that's why we act this way, because we're babies. And technically we are in the scale of things, that we're actually quite babyish. And I feel like that's all that it is, that we're just babies. We don't know what we're doing. Because I think that there is more mature ways of doing things, more mature ways of processing things, of ending things, of experiencing things. And okay, so if me and you are no longer working out, how do we part ways so then this is comfortable for the both of us? And instead we don't care. We're like, F you, or you know, F this, and then we just leave, instead of like, how do we do this properly so it's done properly? And so then I think it is just maturity, and so we don't need to hurt each other's feelings, or to be scared of breakups, or to be scared of things ending. Because why? Because we know that everything is safe, and that right now this is my love story, but for some reason if it changes, that's okay. Now Austin Butler, he's my boyfriend, oh my gosh, I want him forever, and my brain thinks it wants him forever, and then I have him, and then I might as well have him forever, or I might not, who knows? But for now I want him forever, and so therefore I express that and I do that. And if that forever changes and it changes form, or anyways, because we are together forever. Going around in circles here, but you get the point. This world is beautiful. We can take advantage of having sex with love, because I swear it must be amazing. And if you're wondering, where do you find love, I guess that's another video. There's just so much to talk about, and I'm willing to do it, and I wish that there was people here asking me questions so I could be like, okay, enough of me talking. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Until next time, I will be back to talk about orgasms. Okay, bye.